We're live. All right.
We need to get that in sync. We need to do the timing of that.
Yeah, well, StreamYard ducks it because it takes a couple seconds. But anyways, we're live. First playoff pod. 18 weeks in the books. Cam, you and I made it the whole way, so congrats to us on that.
Yes, sir.
Mikey, I think you were here maybe 15 weeks, Michael. Actually, no, we didn't do 18 weeks. We missed 1 week together, so 17 weeks.
True.
I think I missed 3.
Okay, so better participation than last year, I think.
But definitely, yeah.
We'll see what happens. Anyways, we have week 18 to talk about. So kind of mixed results across the board where your boy took a big swing with some games and we went 13-3 on the spread. I think my best week of the year. So I've been saying past 2 years on the week 18 podcast, this is a chance to earn some money if you know what you're doing. So I had to pull some this week 18. Michael also some good picks, 10-6. Cam 7-9.
I think is that my first week below 5 or
no? There's been weeks where we've all done horrible. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess.
But yeah, definitely not my best week. Thankfully, I didn't place a single bet actually on week 18 because I hate week 18. But
why not?
I don't know. Yeah, there was, not many games that mattered, kind of fluky. A lot of people either injured or not playing. And it's also only, like you said, there's only probably 4 or 5 games that really impacted the rest of the year. I'm also kind of strictly, I feel like, at the Pats mindset right now, which might hurt me on these, super wildcard weekend picks. But hey, we got the Pats Super Bowl future already placed, so let's let it rest.
You bet with your heart too much, I gotta say, but I respect it. First comment is from Instagram. I can't pull it up on here. It's from ZZ Call. He says Budcast. We will not be changing the name to Budcast. Okay.
We could, though.
We could. So I already explained the records. So let's get to the records on the year so far. So, Michael, this is a make or break week as you made your way back to 500, 104, 104, and 3 for 50% perfectly. So, not a lot of games left, so you got to get some hits here. At least go pick 3 of these right to continue 500. Rat is still 22, 21, and 1 for 51%. Cam, 134, 118, and 4 for 53%. And I'm 140, 112, and 4 for 56%. I was telling Cam, I think after this week, there's only 6 games left to pick, so it's going to come down to some clutch picks, maybe some different picks. We'll see what happens. Do you go for being right, or do you go for the spread championship? We'll find out. And as always, the YouTube chat is here with us tonight. Ali says, take that shirt off. Nah.
Yeah, go Ducks.
Well, I wore the Nor'easter last week, so I don't feel like showing up every week in the Nor'easter. Maybe the Nor'easter.
Yeah, you gotta switch it up.
Yeah,
different style for the pods.
It's CFP tonight. We gotta switch it up. All right, well, let's get into week 18. So we're gonna have a faster recap. We will talk about some firings that may have happened with some of these teams, but only a couple really meaningful games. Starting out with what was supposed to be a meaningful game between the Buccaneers and the Panthers. Big time spread cover from the Panthers, needed the money line, but this was just an ugly game to watch, really. Downpouring rains. Michael, did you catch this game? Did you watch a lot of football this weekend?
I was eating hibachi with this TV on in the background, so I did actually watch the end of it, but yeah, it was terrible to watch, just like you said.
It was so funny because they're explaining all the teams that have made the playoffs with less than 500 records, and it's just the NFC South every time. Besides that one year, the Seahawks made it. But Cam, what was your thoughts on this game? Obviously, you've been supporting the Bucs and kind of anti-Panthers, and what's the reaction? And take us through the reaction of Charlotte after this game, hoping for something to happen the next day. If anything.
Yeah, it was insane. I thought this was just teed up for a perfect, classic Panthers letdown, choke in a spot where, you can guarantee your own destiny in the playoffs, home playoff game. They end up losing. And then we can obviously talk about more, but probably the worst game of the entire slate was dependent upon if they made the playoffs in New Orleans and Atlanta. Basically had to start cleaning my apartment at halftime. It was the worst sloppy football game I've ever seen. But Tampa Bay ended up pulling it out. Gross win, gross game in general. I thought, I think both teams played bad. Not necessarily like a team deserved to win, but the hype around Charlotte. I don't know if you saw, but they had live look-ins during the Saints
Oh
Atlanta
yeah, I
game.
was going to talk about that.
I
There's
was
like 10
at that.
people at a bar. Were
Yeah,
you
I know.
there?
No, I
looking for
wasn't.
you.
I was there. So when this was on, I was there on New Year's Day for college football. I forget what that day was compared to this game, but I was sitting where exactly those cameras would have been, and it was so crazy seeing how there was like 5 people there, and then when they ended up, clinching, the celebration was so mediocre. It was kind of sad, poor representation. It's actually a good bar, but a lot. We'll get into it when we get talked about the Carolina team, but a lot of hype around the city right now for the playoff game. Got to shake hands with Thomas Davis today outside my office.
How's that? How's Thomas?
He's it was a little meet and greet. They had this cringe little fucking beat the keep pounding drum outside of one of the offices in Uptown. And they gave everybody blue pom-poms, and it was like at 12:45 randomly in the middle of the day. But yeah, that was, a little bit of a bright spot to a shitty work day.
Did you ask Thomas Davis to appear in the Dubcast?
I thought about it, but I was like, I think he might be a little preoccupied at the moment. So, but I mean, I don't know. He's doing random shit on a, Thursday at 12:45 in the city of Charlotte. So maybe he does have time for the Dubcast. If I see him again.
All right. Well, thoughts on this game, really. I mean, there's not really much to say. I feel like this was a stupid game because it's like meant to be up this division for the division matchup, but there's no stakes when the game tomorrow, like the game on Sunday, mattered more. So it's like, okay, the Bucs win, but like this isn't even the end all be all for them. And this is the end of the Buccaneers season, which, if we're talking about the firings, I think the most shocking thing about all of this, even including like some of the firings that have happened even today in the past couple of days, how does Todd Bowles have a job going into the 2026-2027 season? Because I mean,
I disagree.
We're going to get to the Saints game, but why?
I don't know. I feel like he's had, relatively sustained success over the past few years, especially with Baker.
It's the worst division in football.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like they're pretty confident that he can lead them to a division title every year. Maybe some of the I don't know if they'd get like a Harbaugh. Like, if they're playing that route, like if they were trying to get like a Harbaugh or maybe even Stefanski, maybe. But I mean, you also have a shot at not landing one of those two, and then you're really fucked, and you're probably stuck with a Cliff Kingsbury or some rando like that.
I mean, the market isn't that good this year. Well, there's a couple top candidates, but like I feel like the Bucs could easily be 10-7 this year with better coaching. But I guess there's only a certain level of coaching. Whatever. That one was the most surprising thing we saw was that Todd Bowles. I thought he'd be fired on Sunday. I thought when
they lost or the day
after.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Well, I guess we'll be talking about Todd Bowles next year. So we have some comments on Instagram. ZZ Colt shouting out Rat with a heart. Fiji legend. He's got an early pick. Steelers, easy lock. You have to stay tuned to hear our picks for that game. And we have a YouTube comment. Happy Thursday, almost weekend. It doesn't even feel like Thursday. So college football playoff tonight and tomorrow, and then we have playoffs for the next 3 days. So a lot of football.
Enjoy it. Best 5 days of football we're gonna have. So
I need to do the calculations on that. Anyways, another Saturday night game was the Seahawks and the 49ers. Michael, Cam, and I didn't really catch this game, so were you able to watch this one?
Let me go back in my notes.
I just know it was a gross game, and it turns out, especially going into next week, San Fran's pretty banged up. Seattle didn't really look like a 1 seed in this game, but again, I don't really have a game by game or a game analysis specifically.
Yeah. I was like watching this game, not obviously so closely, but I think the thing that I took out of it was that Seattle just relied on their run game the entire game. Didn't really take any chances, which they haven't been doing all year. Like, they're one of the lowest go for it on 4th down teams. They don't really trust Sam to throw the ball on 4th downs or 3rd and longs. Or going for it. Like, so many teams just auto go for it when the ball's around midfield. They don't, and they haven't really all year. Definitely could see that coming up in the second week of the playoffs, because that always seems to happen to teams. But Yeah, 49ers super banged up. I don't really know what to say on them. Like, it kind of was just a shit game that they didn't really care about. So, or
I mean,
if they
should
won,
have
they would have.
cared.
If they would have got the 1 seed, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just super injured. Even though their guys played, like Kittle played and was fine, but you could tell that he was banged up.
He's not 100%. Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, there was like cutovers to him in like the second quarter, and he was already like wheezing on the sideline because he was doing literally everything for them. Yeah, just bad.
Does this give you more faith in your Seahawks to do well in the playoffs? Well, I guess don't say actually because we have a playoff draft coming up. All right. Well, if that's all in that game, I mean, Seahawks are the 1 seed, so they'll have home field throughout every game they play this playoffs.
Even though they're goated on the road.
It'll be determined to see how far we're going to do brackets, picks against the spread, and we'll do a draft against the DOUF boys, which we'll get into. So we'll save our thoughts a little bit so we don't give them a little expertise. Moving on to Sunday, 1 p.m.
What a fucking show.
My man Cam Ward had a sick rushing touchdown, goes out, and we see Brendan Allen. This was over almost the second it started. I needed Jacoby Myers touchdown, dude, and then I'd really be like super rich, but they went up too fast, and then Brendan Allen couldn't move the ball to make it competitive. But Jags, AFC South, that hit, so we won that bet. That was one of the only futures probably I'll hit unless the Packers win the Super Bowl, which is looking unlikely, but it's possible. And then the Titans have already fired their coach, so no need to really go into that. I mean, they're interviewing Jason Garrett.
Yeah, I want to talk about the depth. We talked about that in our group chat. I've said it the entire year. This team is not an NFL organization. And the fact that they're interviewing bitch-ass Jason Garrett from Sunday Night Countdown after his only experience as a head coach was the shitty job he did in Dallas baffles me. Especially when you have – I don't hate Cam Ward. I'm not huge on Cam Ward, but I feel like, he's just surrounded by dog shit. Like, I feel like there is something there, and you could potentially bring in an offensive-minded guy to potentially help him grow and bring in, some weapons around him. But interviewing a guy like Jason Garrett just shows that they don't belong in the NFL.
Well, I mean, what about a second chance? No second chances in America?
Not on Jason Garrett.
America is the land of second chances, except when it comes to this dude.
Except for Tennessee Titans football and Jason Garrett.
There's a little Stephen A for you. Michael, any thoughts on these two teams?
No.
Okay.
Jags offense has just been on a roll, so.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about the Jags.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about the Jags.
To round out the AFC South's year, we had Riley Leonard. This was a big one for me. I had the Colts. I think, Michael, you may have taken Colts as well. But, I mean, the Colts were right in this one.
I took into them.
Kind of a late touchdown by the Texans, I think, on like a fumble return or whatever. To 8 points. But Riley Leonard, I thought, looked pretty good in this game. And for a defense that's supposed to be this, magical, haunting defense, Riley Leonard carved them up. I don't know if it's the quarterback
they
boost,
didn't play really anyone. So
I didn't know that too. I didn't know who they were. They were playing everyone on offense, I believe, because they were trying to win the division potentially of Jacksonville. But then Jacksonville went up like 30-0 in the first half. So it was like,
I think the defense played like 2 series mostly, and then if I remember correctly in this game.
This was probably one of the more entertaining games of the slate, low key. Mainly just high scoring, back and forth. Like you said, Riley Leonard actually looked very good. If you want to take the defense into account, obviously that's a pretty big factor. But maybe they have something there. I would assume they're going to try and re-sign Daniel Jones, but if not, maybe they move forward with Riley. I think one of the more surprising non-firings isn't really Shane Steichen, but Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts.
Yeah, he's got like pictures or something.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, he's been there. I think I heard he's like there for either 10 or 11 years. And I mean, he kind of took it over whenever Andrew Luck kind of bailed, which fucked him. But he's had a shot at several quarterbacks, and sure, they had a hot start, but I don't know. And now they make that Sauce Gardner trade and don't have first round picks in the next 2 years. And for a guy that played maybe a game and a half total, if you want to talk about, how he missed time via injury, but I don't know. That seemed very odd to me. Kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done a bad job with. He brought in Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor's pretty good. Like they've done a good job drafting, at least on offense. I feel like with what the wide receivers they have. I don't know. Maybe it's time to switch something up. I feel like this year was actually the year where the Colts just got screwed over by injuries. Where I don't know how they would finish the season with Daniel Jones, but I mean they did have a tough schedule. I don't know because Philip Rivers lost all those games, so. We'll have to see. Maybe next year will be the last year of Chris Ballard. A lot to discuss in the offseason for the Colts. Moving on to one that had really no implications besides a record being broken by Myles Garrett and a parlay killer for me. The Bengals should just never put them on. I'm kind of done trusting the Bengals.
Why would you do that?
Well, I was taking all favorites, and they were 7.5-point favorites. I think the Browns are on end the season on a 2-game winning streak, which, by the way, they fire their coach, Kevin Stefanski, which is, I mean, we can talk about that. But this game first, Myles Garrett, congrats on the sack record. Congrats on Defensive Player of the Year. And Bengals shadow realm. Like, I didn't want to ban him because it's Joe Burrow, but, like, I feel like when they're a huge favorite like this, it's just bad because they can't play defense.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's watching. I mean, the spread was over, but I need them to just win. They can't even do that. The kid kicks it, wins it. Good for them, you know. But
yeah, I don't give a fuck about this game. I'm very curious to see what the Browns plan on doing with the head coach. I think that's the biggest takeaway, honestly. I mean, sure, Myles Garrett broke the sack record, and Mikey placed a $10 bet to win, I think, less than a penny on him winning Depoy.
Hey.
That's one penny he didn't have yesterday.
That's fair. That's fair. But no, I mean, the Cincinnati team, I thought that was also another surprising non-firing of keeping Zach Taylor, but I also think that might be more GM related on how they structured the team. Going to be very interesting to see what they do in the offseason to try and, you know, make this team much more well-rounded as opposed to trying to score 60 points a game. And then when your quarterback gets hurt, you're fucked. But I don't know. Cleveland, like I said, also going to be interesting who they potentially will look at. I mean, I don't think they're getting a top candidate. I don't think any of those coaches are going to want to go to Cleveland, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're walking into Watson and Shadur Sanders. It's like, what are we doing? Like, I wouldn't want that job. All right, we have some comments to get to. I kind of liked Riley Leonard. I feel like this could be a Joe Milton situation. I think we need to see more. We'll see.
We did see Joe Milton, didn't we? Second half against the Giants.
We did, which we'll get to in a second. But like this could be a situation. I'm saying more like a Week 18 situation.
Yeah.
Like we need actually.
No,
CJ played a quarter and a half, and then second half was all backups, both sides of the ball. I think I remember CJ playing a little bit more than a quarter and a half, but I could be wrong on that.
I think you're wrong on that.
I'm looking at the play-by-play, and he was in at the end of the first half.
Davis Mills played the whole second half at least.
Okay, so half and half, not a quarter and a half. So you're trying to skimp out on this. By the way, they were winning 23-17, so I don't know what the defensive stats are. I don't care about defense. In terms of Cincinnati, imagine Cincinnati takes a wide receiver at 9 or 10. I would guarantee they don't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
pick defense.
It would be funny because that's, you know, that's that would be kind of funny. That's like right up, you know, Cincy's alley, but obviously that's not the weakness within their team. Like they don't need a premier number 3 receiver when you have arguably 2 number 1s and maybe the best one on your team. Yeah, like who's actually, he's their third receiver's actually been playing pretty well. So that would be a classic Bengals move, but I cannot see that happening.
I'm predicting this now. I see them going tackle to keep Joe happy.
That would make sense. I see. That's the thing. Like, I don't like not drafting offense. I don't think it's the right mindset. Like, obviously they need help on defense, but their O-line is arguably the worst in the league. Like, you need to keep, if you're going to try and outscore every team in the league, you're going to need to protect Joe. Like, you can't have him missing half the season because that's a guaranteed, 7-6 losses right there. And then you're out of the playoff picture. Same thing happened last year.
Yeah, she was being sarcastic, saying they're so stupid they would do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like brain dead, but we'll see. Draft coming up. All right, NFC is another meaningless one. We saw Joe Milton.
Not meaningless.
Oh, okay. Take us through
the draft.
The tankathon. Take us through your emotions watching this
helped
game.
the Jets out majorly. Got the Jets the second pick, and also got them the first pick in the second round.
Ooh.
Actually, no, that was not this game. That was the Raiders. The Raiders winning got them first pick in the second round too.
Wow,
Giants.
2 top 33 picks. What did the Jets do?
What pick would you have if the isn't it more because you have the Colts? Or is that
Yeah.
Oh, 3.
Colts at 16. It's
3 in the top
16 and
33.
32 and 44, I think, or something like that.
So would you have picked third if the Giants lost this game?
Yeah.
I feel
Do you like it too? Or are you still evaluating? I know you're not a huge college football guy, but now you are. Trying to figure
we have
out
a lot of podcasts to get to that. We haven't even talked about the Jets yet. Anything on this game? Joe Milton kind of looked like trash, to be honest.
I don't give a fuck. Joe Milton is trash. Giants suck. Cowboys suck. Who really gives a shit?
Giants fans were mad that they tried to win at the end, but look what happened to Pats. I kept saying that, but
Yeah.
no one wanted to do that. Next one. This was a miraculous for me because I needed Packers.
Did you
plus
have
14.
the 13? Or, oh my God.
Packers plus 14 and a half. I was like,
they call a timeout with 2 seconds left to kick the field goal. So
Clayton Tune should be banned from the NFL. There was like no off every time they showed this game, and there was only 6 games. Like they were showing the meaningless ones. Dude, like they didn't even show this game at all because there's nothing going on. For the Vikings ending on a win, but thank you to Matt LaFleur and Clayton Tune.
Did 9 play? I didn't watch this game.
9 ended up playing. We didn't think he was going to when we did the pod, but he actually ended up playing, I think. They might have just put in Brosmer too, and he might have got hurt. I forget what even happened. But this game wasn't even on the TV because there was nothing happening. But good job, Vikings.
Brosmer did play in this game.
So they both played. Okay. All right. Well,
7 of 8 for Brosmer.
I just realized I picked that game as my over. That's tough in the DOUF.
Yeah,
that was my one loss, though. It was my one loss.
9 did play and got hurt. Okay, so my memory isn't failing me.
Clayton Tune was 6 for 11 for 34 yards.
Yeah, like what are we doing? Put in Malik. At least let Malik let it rip. I don't know. And now to the one that actually determined a playoff spot. The Falcons and the Saints. Cam, you seem like you had strong thoughts on this one. Lead us out here. What do you got?
This was the worst game of all. Like, it was the only game that had an impact on the playoff picture, and neither of the teams were actually going to be making the playoffs. And it was arguably the sloppiest, grossest NFL football game I've probably watched, like, for a significant amount of time. Like, I watched the entirety of this game, and I was like, why the fuck is this the only game at 1 o'clock on a Sunday in Week 18 that actually matters? But unfortunately, my pick of New Orleans trying to end up winning and kicking Carolina out of the playoffs did not hit. But hopefully, Carolina gets their doors blown off.
The most confusing thing ever was like if who wins, who gets in. Like that week, no one could figure that out.
So the problem was everybody said that it was. I knew this going into the week. It was. I think we talked about it on the pod last week.
Yeah.
And it was if Atlanta wins, then no matter what, Carolina's in. And then Shefty puts out a typo fucking notification where it's flip-flopped. And then we were just like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? But
how could the savant get this wrong?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he's right 99% of the time. I'll let it slide for a meaningless NFC South Division title.
Well, it could be meaningful.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought this game was a little bit better just because it's like 2 shitty teams playing for like something that's out. It's like you saw like Baker on the couch and like I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought
that was the best part of the game.
Yeah.
Was that?
I thought that was like a fun aspect though of like this could just be nothing. Like imagine if there was no implications on this, it would just be even worse at 1 p.m. So I thought this was an interesting setup. Maybe they should have. Well, I guess I was trying to think of scheduling, like what would make sense to switch around the Bucks game and this game, maybe to do something with that. But I don't know the way they did it.
Would have taken all the air out of the. Yeah. If you play them at the same time, that would have been electric. Like same time on Sunday.
They usually do that. So
yeah,
that was a little confusing. Shock loses, they were on a little bit of a winning streak. They did cover though, so good job. Needed money line, but it is what it is. Michael, anything you had to add on this one?
No.
Okay.
Terrible.
I
mean, who would have thought 7 weeks ago that the Saints wouldn't be taking a quarterback?
Oh wait, Falcons fired.
And Raheem Morris is out.
That was I thought he had another year in him because that was only 2 years. But
next
I guess
defensive coordinator of the New York Jets.
Under what head coach?
Aaron Glenn.
Oh right, I forgot they didn't fire.
Range.
You think Aaron Glenn's safe? You guys want Harbaugh?
Dude, no, I think Woody Johnson came out, didn't he? He was like, we got our guy after Harbaugh got fired. Yeah. And he was just like, we got our guy when Harbaugh became available. And then I saw some memes of Jets fans being like, bro, what the fuck? Like, we're taking a chance on his first head coaching gig after 1 year when you have one of the best coaches that's had success over 2 decades.
There's no way Harbaugh would come here, even if they had it open.
Yeah. But it's just the fact that he would come out and be like, we got our guy. And it's very, like, Glenn could be fired if he has another shitty season next year.
He could be fired after week, 7.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not going to take a chance on a guy like Harbaugh or Stefanski and I would have taken not any, but probably 4 or 5 other potential candidates over Aaron Glenn in this pool.
Someone would be in the pool next year. You never know. So we're getting a comment from our future guests. Are we recapping every meaningless game too, or what here? First of all, that game had a lot of meaning to determine.
Yeah, that was probably the first one that actually had the most meaning. Like,
listen, this is a podcast. We recap every game. Most of these games did have a meaning in one way or the other, but we'll go faster so they can get on. Pats Dolphins, just an absolute thrashing. Ramondre, big game. Looked like a fun game to go to in comparison to last year's Week 18. I don't know if there's any specific. Kind of a come down spot.
The Jets beat the Pats?
No, that was 2 years ago. Last year we beat the Bills.
Was it at Buffalo?
No, it was Gillette. I was there.
Oh, all right. Good luck, Charm. Boots on the ground.
Back when I went to the games, they won. Unlike this year. All right. Any actual thoughts in this game? I mean, kind of Quinn Ewers didn't look as great, probably. I don't know.
No, I think Miami's kind of doomed. I am curious to see who they might look at for a head coaching job now that McDaniel's fired.
Yeah, McDaniel fired today.
Yeah, and what they would do at the head coach / quarterback position as well. Obviously you have, big ticket items like Tyreek Hill where you have to make decisions on, especially a new regime coming in. But New England looked good. Nothing to complain about. I mean, that's just how you want to end the season going into the playoffs, especially against a divisional opponent at home, especially when you're returning the next week for a home playoff game. Definitely looked like the crowd was, very into it on, a borderline meaningless game for them. I know they potentially could have got the 1 seed, but, Chargers didn't play anybody against Denver, which we'll talk about. But New England looked good. I'm excited for next week, but obviously we'll talk about that more in a few minutes.
Yeah, Pat's got the job done. Speaking of the devil, the Chargers, what an awful game to watch. Trey Lance, I was on the hype train. I'm out, I think. I just don't need to see Trey Lance play football anymore. This was a disgusting performance by the Chargers. It seemed like the Broncos wanted to give them a chance to be in it, but they just refused to be in it. So,
was Trey Lance the number 3 overall pick, and and the Niners traded up to go get him, right? Or
that's correct?
Wow, that's embarrassing. But
the big debate was Mac or Trey Lance at 3 after. Who was it? Went 1. Trevor Lawrence, and then the other kid went 2. I'm forgetting right now. But
I forget. But I mean, I think this is perfect bulletin board material for the Pats. I feel like the Chargers were kind of playing for a spot. Obviously, resting your entire team, I'm sure there's health benefits, but, Vrabel's going to twist that into, hey, they were, playoff matchup playing you on Week 18. But it was, like you said, the Denver Broncos are trying to keep the Chargers in this game, and Chargers obviously just didn't have enough talent to keep within it. But
they refused to be in it.
It
was every chance. I wasn't even expecting the Chargers to win this, but it was the Broncos just kept fumbling about over themselves, and the Chargers no, we're not going to get a first down. They couldn't move the ball at all. So that was a pretty frustrating watch. Granted, I knew we probably weren't getting the 1 seed, but just from an outsider's perspective, just watching the game. All right, we'll keep moving to Michael, your team, the Jets. Anything to say on their regard?
Nope.
Aaron Glenn's locked in. You got the number 2 pick.
Yep. Number 15 or 16 as well.
I feel like Aaron Glenn was given a mission to tank watching these last 2 weeks.
I mean, look up their point differential over the last 5 weeks.
Oh yeah, they continued. I think they lost by like 125 in 5 games.
Holy shit! I didn't know that stat.
More than 23 points each of the last 5 weeks.
Yikes!
Anything you want to say to send the Jets into the offseason, or just keep them moving?
No, just keep them moving.
Keep them moving.
They've got a lot of money and a lot of draft picks, and hopefully someone good will want to use that money that they have.
Do you trust in Darren Muji?
I think he could make a trade or something.
He
made some good in-season trades and preseason trades.
In hindsight, I feel like in hindsight, I know it's only been half of a season, but that Quinnen and Sauce trade acquiring draft picks, I feel like is definitely something to look forward to.
Cowboys and Colts both missed the playoffs. Just coincidentally putting that out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the most meaningless game, just because it didn't feature a playoff team, was the Raiders and the Chiefs. Probably the most entertaining game, just because it came down to the last minute. Aiden O'Connell, they refused to show this game just because it had no meaning. But Aludicon and Shane Buechele were playing quarterback for the Chiefs. Michael, you get your first pick in the second round because of this. Anything else to add from this game?
No, did not watch a second.
I also did not watch a second. I did not give a fuck about this game.
All right, keeping it moving, we had the Eagles backups lose to the Commanders. That was a big one for the spread as well. Not really much to say here either. Tanner McKee last year looked pretty good when the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl in the backup games. Losing here to the Commanders to Josh Johnson, kind of an ugly scene.
Where's fucking Kenny Pickett at? Is he not with the Eagles anymore?
He's with the Raiders.
Oh, gross. I was hoping for a Kenny Pickett game, but I turned it on. It was some rando, and I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this game. But
all right. Well, we have some Instagram comments from GSmall1025. He says, McGann. I keep having to switch over tabs on the Instagram, so I'm not seeing those comments live. Sorry about that, but what's up? Next one. Cam, you and I were on this one, Lions. I don't know if Michael joined as well, but this was a pretty good game as well, coming down to the last couple minutes. Lions almost pissed me off real bad with Jared Goff throwing that dumbass pick, but luckily the Bears are just chokers, so they fumbled the bag as well. Lions get the outright win. I had that on money line at least for my bet, so I was happy with that. And yeah, I'm not going to say much about the Bears because we have a bunch of playoff segments coming up, but the Lions, probably the best team to not make the playoffs of all the eliminated teams right now. I don't know if that's a unanimous agreement, but any thoughts from this game?
No, not really. I mean, we were kind of on it. I completely agree with you. Like, Detroit's the best team. I feel like honestly it was much more difficult on the NFC side to make the playoffs, but I know it's huge to win your division. I understand that, but when you're putting in a team like the Panthers over a team like the Lions the Lions are arguably one of the most entertaining teams in football, and they have a relatively successful season and end up not making it because they play in a tough division. Also, the NFC is, but that's also how the NFL works. So I don't want to complain about it, but I mean, they're one of the more entertaining teams. I like watching the Lions. If I wanted to root for a team in the NFC, the Lions are usually my team, but classic Bears choke also, but you kind of mentioned that in your take too.
All right. Well, we only had one more game at 4:00. It was a team Cam loves to hate, the Cardinals, and Jonathan Gannon, who was supposedly secure, is fired. Rams get this done pretty easily, secure themselves the number 5 seed in the playoffs. So we'll have a lot of talk about the Rams coming up. But Cardinals perspective, I feel like there's a lot of questions on that team right now. Kyler, coach, I don't think it's really a spot you're looking to go to necessarily unless you know what's going on at quarterback. So
where are they drafting?
Michael?
Oh, the Cardinals?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, they have the 3rd pick. So
they have the 3rd pick?
Yeah,
Ty Simpson declared.
The Giants went from 2 to 5, and I think it's Cardinals and Cardinals, Browns, Giants, I think. Does that sound right?
I mean, yeah, if you get the head coach with his pick at quarterback, that could be intriguing, but I was
going to say Ty Simpson declared. So you have number 1 supposed to be Mendoza, number 2 probably Dante Moore, and then number 3 if you're going to take a chance, you got Ty Simpson right there. So that'll be interesting at the top of the draft. Yeah, right now the Cardinals have 3, Titans have 4, Giants have 5. Yep. All right. And then our last game, a cinematic way to end us out, at least on regular season Sunday Night Football. The Ravens, was texting my friend who's a Ravens fan. The first thing I said was Billy Cundiff. This was just kind of a season of mishaps for the Ravens. Obviously, John Harbaugh fired yesterday night, and the Steelers are going to the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers in his potential retirement season will have a home playoff game, which we'll talk about on Monday night. But from a Ravens perspective, I mean, it felt like some people were shocked about this firing, but to me, it just felt like a long time coming ever since they were the 1 seed 2 years ago against the Chiefs and kind of choked that game away. I thought since then, Harbaugh and the Lamar relationship has been on borrowed time. Figured that they wouldn't get rid of Lamar just because they've had that whole thing with him a couple years ago and then decided to keep him. So Harbaugh is out. The Ravens are out of the playoffs. This game was crazy. Obviously missed kicks by the extra point, and Boswell sets up Loop to be able to hit the game winner from like 44. Obviously, he let Justin Tucker go over the offseason. So really dramatic finish there. This was exhilarating. Great way to end Sunday Night Football. I don't know if there's any additional thoughts on this game.
You walked it through perfectly. I actually fell asleep during halftime and magically woke up with 2 minutes left in the game. So it was awesome to, experience, the both sides of emotion, even though, I'm very happy with the outcome as, speaking from a Patriots fan's perspective, much rather face the Steelers in the playoffs than the Ravens. You never know what Derrick Henry and Lamar can end up doing in a playoff game. But, yeah, I was, not surprised, but just it's more just like, who do you get if you're Baltimore? Like, I get you want to change your messaging, but it's like, he's been coaching there. He's been successful. I think he's won 10 games on average throughout his entire career at Baltimore, which in a season, that's basically a playoff team every year. But then you argue, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the same way with Tomlin, where if you're not winning championships, what are you really accomplishing? But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the offseason at a head coach. I think they're kind of an older team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm pumped that the Steelers won. And I thought they were going to choke in classic Steelers fashion and then lose or not make the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers probably retiring. But I don't know. Maybe we catch him in the playoffs and freebie going on to the, AFC Championship game.
All right. Well, we have our guest waiting on stage, but before we have some Instagram comments, Connor.Chester, he says, the U or Hottie Toddy. We will get to our picks at the end of the show. What's the play? I have a strong play for this game tonight. I'll reveal at the end of the show when we do our college picks. He says, first drive punt. Cam, is that something you ever venture into, the drives?
No, I've done it a couple of times with, just following a couple of buddies whenever watching a game, like short, small bets or whatever. Never, I think I've hit one out of like maybe 25 or 30. So it's just not worth my time, but it is exhilarating. It definitely brings, especially if you don't really give a fuck about the game, it is pretty fun to do, but something I'm definitely not going to look to touch tonight.
And then he says, LaMichael James jersey with 5 question marks.
No.
Marcus Mariota.
Gifted by gifted by Michael Halloran.
And speak of the man who gifted it, Mark. Welcome to the stage, DOUF boys.
Want to give me that introduction?
Yeah, it's good to be here, boys. We have a special
Collinsworth
reveal.
slide.
We're gonna do a Collinsworth slide, a special reveal.
The hair
with my friend and his new head.
I gotta see this.
What's going on, boys?
Whoa!
Yeah, baby.
Is that Johnny Sins?
It's something like that.
He's a bald boy.
I'm a bald boy.
Are you 1 week in?
I've been shaving it.
Oh, okay.
Is your head cold? I know you're in Florida, so probably not.
No,
but...
so the first night was New Year's Eve, and it was like the coldest day I think we've ever had since I've lived here.
Like 50 degrees.
Yeah, it was
in the 40s.
It was in the 40s. It was cold. Yeah, the answer to the question is yes. My head was cold, very cold.
Interesting.
Nice.
All right, so we have a lot to get to, so let's get right into it. So first, let's reveal the results of the DOUF. I never officially got back to you guys, so as expected, I choked. I went 0 for 4. Congratulations to the Florida boys. They won the DOUF this year for the regular season. Send me a picture. We'll post you guys on Instagram. At least we'll give you that reward. We didn't come up with a punishment. Next year we'll lock in with a punishment, but you guys will have a post on Instagram for winning the DOUF. So congratulations.
Darn, what a tough punishment that we have to face is them getting
I
posted.
asked every week and there was nothing, so I can't.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm saying it's a good thing for us.
We're just happy to be here, boys.
They're gonna make the Instagram, so it's a reward. All right. So to quickly wrap up on that, Tendy 3-1 last week, Cam 3-1, Mark 2-1-1, obviously me 0-4, Mikey 10-6 in the year, Cam 21-18-1, Mark 28-27-1, Tendy 27-27-2, and then me 21-34-1.
My downfall needs to be studied.
So I've thought of this idea, a playoff team draft. So here's how this is going to work. So we have 3 people. You guys have 2. But we're going to pick between the 12 teams. Each of us will get 6 teams. So we're going to go against you guys again, Team Dubcast versus Team Florida.
Okay.
And as the winners, you guys get to pick. We're going to do a snake if you want 1-4 or 2-3, and we'll go off that. And how we'll do it is whoever has the first pick, like if you guys have the first pick, Mark, you'll be up first because you have the best percentage in the DOUF, but you can obviously confer and talk, but ultimately it'll come down to Mark's decision. Same thing for our team. So Mikey, you'll have the first pick for our team, but you can obviously
So hold on. I was the best picker of the entire show.
No, of Team Florida.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So it's in the teams.
I was the best picker.
Mikey was technically the best picker at 10-6.
Yeah, you got the least amount of picks because you got fucked us.
Yeah.
So how are we scoring this?
Well, it's whoever gets the Super Bowl champ.
Oh, okay.
That's
We're
what
not
we're
doing,
doing. Unless
it's
you
not
want
like
to come up with
1 point for first round win, 2 points for second round win, that sort of thing.
How about would you
No.
guys like to
All or
put
nothing.
like maybe the other team buys dinner? You know, Florida buys dinner for Rhode Island or for you guys, and then if we win, you guys buy dinner for us one night or something like that.
We all live in different states.
I know, but yes, but like
We'll pay the tab.
yeah, like Venmo.
That can get out of hand, and everybody on
Out
this
of hand.
podcast.
My
knows.
lord.
What do you think we're gonna do?
I don't know. I don't want to find out.
All right. What about Chipotle?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like a dinner and you just order, 2 bottles of Casa Azul on top.
I was thinking like you go out to dinner like a normal human, maybe get a beer or 2, and have a burger
Okay.
or something. But
all right, I'm fine with that. I just don't want, all of us having to pay $500 for your tab for a
Let's
punch.
say if you guys win $50 max per person, and then if we win,
Fair. That's fair.
That'd make it like 35-ish per person.
We can do 50. It's okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bankroll.
Works with me.
All right. So instead of deciding who will play, you guys get to pick your pick. So it's going to be a snake to make it fair instead of doing a 1-2-1-2.
All right.
Do you guys want the first and the 4th pick or the 2nd and the 3rd pick?
We're gonna go 2-3.
Okay. So Michael, this leaves you. You've got the whole board of playoff teams.
Oh,
AFC,
baby.
NFC. We can kind of talk it out, but I don't want to draw this out too long. So ultimately, we're gonna maybe shot clock it if it's getting too long. But
I think
what are you
there's
thinking
one.
for your
I think
first
there's
pick?
one pick, and I think
What-
it's the Los Angeles Rams.
Let's go.
I like it.
Great pick.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it, but I it's tough because you know who I would have picked. But
That's
got-
biased, though.
They've got a easier road to it. If they win, they'll probably play the Seahawks.
Paid my feelings here no matter what.
Seahawks or Packers, I guess.
So, Mike,
No, not the
you're picking the
Seahawks.
Rams to win it all, then, obviously.
They are around in my Super Bowl. Yeah.
All right. Just making sure.
All
you
right,
have an
so
argument over? Are we confirming LA?
I'm good. I'm personally good with that pick because I think this year's
Okay.
crapshoot Rams have experience. They've done it, so I like that pick. But
That's fine. Okay.
I feel like first pick's actually they did a good job picking that pick because first pick's actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not one obvious team.
Yeah. Of course. All right. I'm fine with
All
the
right,
Rams.
so Team Florida, you're up. Technically, Mark, you'll have final say on this one. What are you guys thinking for your first team?
We've got a good 2-3 here. I'm gonna go the 1 seed on the NFC side, Seattle. I
I love that.
like them a lot. I've liked them a lot. I low key have some futures on them. Super low key though. I have them winning it all. So that's obviously the pick. Seattle.
That's
All right.
bold.
That's a blessing for us, boys. I like it. Good start.
Tendy.
I hate that Cam thinks he's doing something right now. It pisses me off.
I'm just getting in the head.
I'm missing her off the bat. Just go with my heart, and I'm gonna take the Pats. It's just no problems there.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna take them.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pick. You know? We don't know. You don't know either way, in my opinion. We have to see what this team's made of in the playoffs. And obviously, Cam was going to pick them, so good spot to steal from him there.
Yeah.
So, Cam, now you're up. What do you think?
I might need a little help from the team on this one. I think we should at least split the 2 picks on the conference. You agree?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I
So
agree.
I don't want to pick Denver, but I feel like a logical choice, seeing how they're the 1 seed, and we have an NFC team on the other side. I also don't. You're probably not going to like this pick, but I kind of like Philly turning it around in the playoffs.
Left though, out of these two.
I don't
I
love
don't
it, but
hate
if-
that.
if-
I
don't
feel
hate
like,
it.
especially after that week 18 where they didn't really play anybody, they're obviously a lot of shit's being talked, but it's always like that in Philly. But they're, defending champs. I feel like they can make a run. I feel like there's a path for them to, have a relatively easier
You're there.
way to the conference championship, and then anything can happen in that game. So I don't know. I would say either Denver or Philly would be my 2 next picks.
I would say Philly over Denver if we're going to pick between those two.
Mikey?
I agree.
All right, let's go Philly for the number 4 overall pick.
Yep.
That's a great pick.
So it comes back to me. I've got my eye on the other AFC East team, if I'm not going to lie.
Okay, I love that. That's fine.
I think Bills.
I mean, I don't love it, but I'll take it.
If we're going AFC, I don't trust
Yeah.
any of the other teams.
Yeah.
Fair.
And the Bills
Picking
have the best
quarterback.
quarterback.
We both
Yeah,
have.
we'll get the best quarterback. So
Let's do it.
let's go Bills. My only pick. Hopefully
Yeah.
it works out well.
All right.
So Mark, you're back up.
I think it's Snake, so Tendy's up, but it doesn't matter. We're in
it's,
lockstep.
it's your team's pick, and then Mark.
Yeah.
We're locked in here together. This is a team game. We have our picks set in stone here. I don't know how you let the 49ers fall here. That was
Yeah,
terrible.
the Eagles are going to
You
lose
just
first
took the
round to the
Eagles.
49ers.
I know that was a terrible
Bad pick.
49ers
I'm confident in the
are
Philly. Yeah.
And then
San Fran's banged up as hell.
there you go. You got it.
The Eagles are trash. They scored
Playing
like
at
12
home?
points a game.
West Coast team going to, the Northeast in the winter. I don't know.
Yeah, body clock game.
No, not body clock, strictly weather. God damn it.
Like, we're one team.
I love the body clock.
All right, so we've got 9 teams left. What are you guys
All right.
thinking?
Niners, first pick. Second pick, shout out Texans Colin. Shout out Texas. They might be the hottest team in the league right now. I don't know how many they've won in a row, like 10 games maybe, who knows. But defense wins championships. They have the best defense in the league. CJ's coming on right now. They got boys Higgins, the rookie, looks sick. Nico. So Texas. Shout out Texas Colin.
God, what was that stat of longest win streak heading into the playoffs to win a
Ooh.
Super Bowl?
9.
One of you guys had that, I think.
I think it was
You're the
6
stat guy.
games, but
It doesn't matter. That's not the they're not the longest win streak. I think the Broncos have a longer win streak right now.
all right. So who's left?
Well, the way
for
I was
me?
thinking of snaking it was I would go last again. Like I would be the last in the last round but whatever it does. It's a team decision. So
Yeah, team
Michael,
team
ball's in your
decisions.
court. What are you thinking for this one?
We got, I feel like, the biggest steal on the board.
Denver.
No. Doug's future.
I was
I
gonna
hate
say
no.
that. I
They're
was gonna
terrible. No shot. I'm taking
A
them.
lot of
I think.
here.
I don't think they win a game. in
And
this
I would
playoffs.
go with the Broncos or the Jags.
I would also go with the Broncos here.
Okay. I mean, home field. I feel like the altitude.
Fair.
3 games
Mhm.
or 4 games. We're fine.
All right, we'll settle on the. I mean, 1 seed. They should be good
Yeah.
in theory. I don't hate it in the 4th round. I mean,
Yeah.
They just
we're taking
Yeah.
Broncos officially.
Yeah. Broncos. And then back
So
to
we've
us.
got 6 teams left: Bears, Panthers, Packers, Jags, Steelers, Chargers. Cam, this is technically your pick, so you will have final say.
I kind of alluded to it. I
what
think
you're
I
saying.
might make an executive decision because I feel like
I'm fully on board with
out
that.
of all the teams that are left, I feel like this team is one of the teams that maybe they lose in the first round, but they also have a chance to make a serious run at the Super Bowl. And unless you guys have serious differing opinions and have a better team in mind, I would definitely take this team over the Jags. But I'm going with the Packers here. Unless you guys have Mikey.
Whatever.
All right, 2 beats 1. We're a team, so we're gonna go with Green Bay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, we're the same side.
All right, we're back to you, Team Florida. You've got
That's
the
a good
choice
pick.
between.
Green Bay was on the board. Broncos were on the board. I'm gonna ride with another hot team right now. A guy who's getting overlooked and might have better stats than some of the people being talked about for MVP is Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. They could lose first round to Buffalo, maybe, but they could also go on a hot run right here. So we don't really have a lot of other picks, to be honest. So give me the Jags.
All right, well, down to the last 4. You've got another one: Steelers, Chargers, Bears, Panthers.
We decided we're gonna go with the Bears here. I mean, I
Safe
think
pick, I feel like.
they're a wild card. You never know. You don't know what you're gonna get out of them at any week, and hopefully
But they're winning games.
they win games.
The
Just like the
cardiac
Panthers.
Bears are also our Croatian roommate. He adopted the Bears this year.
Was that official?
Yeah.
There a reason
So-
why, or
Because his ex-girlfriend's a Green Bay fan.
hi? All right,
Bears.
I actually like that pick. Good for that guy.
That's a good reason. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really good reason to be fair.
And he watched the Bears beat Green Bay on whatever that was, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, which was a sick game.
Yeah,
So let's run it back, boys. Let's go Bears. Bears all the way. They're going to lose to the Seahawks, and the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl, but let's go Bears.
All right. So we have 2 picks now, Team Debcast. We're down to 3 teams.
I
we
think
should
it's obvious who we're
Let's
not.
just say the team we aren't going to pick. I say Panthers.
Yeah, no shit.
Damn it! So we got the Panthers.
Michael?
I say we pick the Panthers. Come on.
Get
Who-
out.
Over
Get
who? The Steelers have a home playoff game. If you want to say Chargers, you're putting a lot of faith in the Patriots, in my opinion. Like, I think the Patriots should win, but
I think the Chargers are the first pick.
so you say no Steelers.
I think it's between Steelers and Panthers who are out.
I think the Panthers have 0. I think Panthers lose by 30 points on whatever it is.
Both
Saturday.
teams are in the same spot where the Rams. First of all, you took the Rams to win first overall, first pick.
Yeah,
No.
he's hedging.
I
think the Steelers could score 0 points against the Texans.
and they'll still win because the Texans' offense is dog shit.
What?
Steelers win 3-0. Put it into the. I mean, ultimately, I think this is. I don't even know. This is.
This is a lock. I don't even know why we're
You
arguing.
guys are overthinking the hell out of this right now.
Yeah.
I think-
First of all,
Yeah,
right
what
off
do
the bat,
we
when we said no Panthers, they're like, "Oh shit, we got the Panthers." So I think we just go with that.
Yeah, I think we do the 2 AFC teams.
If the
How many are
Steelers
left?
What's that? Panthers, Chargers.
It's us. Yeah, we have the last 2, and you would get the last pick.
Whatever they don't pick is who we end up with here.
you get the
Okay.
remainder.
All right. Yeah, just give us the Panthers. Like, what are we even talking about?
None of these teams are winning the Super Bowl. I feel safe saying that.
Yeah,
But
Mike, can you get a
the
final
Steelers-
confirmed?
But, like, the Panthers are really not winning the Super Bowl.
They could,
Well,
though.
Oh my god. They're on. All right. We're officially overruling 2-1 majority. We're
Yeah,
taking
okay.
the Steelers and the Chargers, despite Michael's. If the Panthers win the Super Bowl, Michael, you win this podcast. The podcast is over. You got it.
Yeah.
You drive from here. Before we get into the bracket, we have some comments, some interesting ones. So DOUF boys, you want to give any thoughts on the college games tonight? Cam and I will give our picks later, but Will Coughlin in the chat says Trinidad tonight. Let's go.
I have boots on the ground tomorrow in Atlanta at the Peach Bowl, baby.
Oh, shit. Should be a good one. Oregon, Indiana.
I'll be in the family section with all the Indiana folk. Let's go Indiana, baby. Come on.
What about tonight, though? Any interest in tonight? Ole Miss?
I hope Ole Miss runs it up. I think their quarterback's really, really good. And I just honestly hope he's really, really good so that it wasn't just he played Georgia's secondary and looked really good. So I'm rooting for him.
Oh, yeah. Beat Georgia, win the national championship type vibe?
Yeah.
All right. I see it. Another comment, Edelman jersey goes hard.
Thank you, whoever that was. I don't know who commented that.
Will Kaufman. What's going on here? We were picking teams for the Super Bowl. So Team Florida is the team in the bottom left, and then the rest of us are Team Dubcast. So we'll keep track of this too. I don't know if you guys want to keep joining every week. You're welcome to if you want to, but
absolutely
keep track. We got a little wager on this, a little dinner on this one. So whoever wins the Super Bowl ultimately wins that one. Yeah, same question. I don't know, Mandani or Silwa. We don't really do politics on here. I don't even know who Sliwa is. I've learned who Mandani is since a couple streams ago.
Let's hear your political views real quick.
How do you feel about Venezuela?
I have no comment. I amend my fourth right, whatever it is.
Jesus, that was gross. That was bad.
Right. Neither. Netanyahu. I think you guys are in the wrong show. Magoon, when did you get a Ducks jersey? Shout out to Mark.
Let's go, baby.
Michael to give to me a very gracious gift, and I appreciate it very much. I'm glad we got to see Mariota. Michael didn't give it to me in time for me to wear it for any of the streams for Mariota, but hopefully there's one more year in Mariota where he has a star or something. And then Mark, I don't know if you want to respond to this. Fuck UGA.
Who's commenting that?
Allie McGann, 9980.
What
sounds like she doesn't know ball.
Confirmed non-ball knower.
Well, they did lose in the second round, so
Ohio State looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, wait, this is kind of like that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we also wanted to do brackets. So I don't know, should we give our brackets too now or just wait to do ours after? Because we still have to go through all the games, or should we just reveal them with them? What do you guys think?
I think we let them go and then we can do our games and then do our brackets. Unless we're competing. Yeah. I mean, we already have dinner on because I feel like we already have one competition going. I feel like we don't need to. We
can also send in our brackets and we can do like points or something. I don't know.
Well, you guys say your brackets now.
No, I like how we have it because I mean, I've got my Super Bowl winner. Tendy's got his. So like,
I think we get your guys' brackets. We send you on your way. Then we'll do our predictions for each game, and then we'll do our brackets. But I'll tabulate, and then you guys can come in. We'll update on the brackets and the Super Bowl every week. Yeah. Does that sound good?
That sounds fine.
All right. So, do one of you guys want to give your brackets to go round by round, or do one by one? What do you think?
I'll just rip mine. I'll rip through, and then Tendy will rip through.
All right.
So starting in the NFC, I've got Green Bay beating the Bears. I see that game honestly going like crazy over and like just being a shootout. And I feel like Green Bay, that plays to Green Bay more. 49ers versus Eagles. 49ers, I think, win that kind of handily. I don't like the Eagles at all. I don't think they put up enough points. Rams, Panthers. Rams, obviously. Pats, Chargers. I've got the Pats.
Your Pats?
Yeah, I've got the Pats. My Pats. Jags, Bills. I've got the Jags in that game. That game could be a fun game too. Crazy over. Especially it's in Florida, so it's not like any type of weather game. Texans, Steelers. I've got Texans. So then second round, we've got Green Bay versus Seattle. I've got Seattle winning it all, so obviously I've got Seattle. Niners versus Rams. I've got the Niners. So then
Niners making a run.
Yeah, I like the Niners. Seahawks versus Niners in the NFC. And then on the other side, we've got Pats, Jags. I've got the Jags beating the Pats. Just honestly because they're not my Pats anymore. I'm rooting against the Pats now.
Why?
After 1 week, yeah.
Because
Crazy.
I tried to root for the Pats for so long, and this guy and another guy I work with, both Pats fans, they're like, no, you can't do that. You're a Jets fan. You can't come to the Pats. So fuck them. I'm not
That's
going
fair.
to the Pats.
That's fair. I
Fuck the
respect that.
Pats.
Good
Yeah.
take, Tendy, another guy.
Because he's a Jets fan. That's
No.
why you respect it.
No, not a Jets fan. I'm a Seahawks fan. And
Cringe.
Texans sometimes. So then Texans, Broncos on the other side. I've got Texans because Texas. Bo Nix is going to get absolutely manhandled by their defense because he's a fucking bum. And then, so I've got Jags versus Texans. Well, AFC South, AFC Championship game.
That's
It's the
so bad.
grossest AFC
Yeah.
championship game of all time.
Yeah, really mucky. I hate
Record-breaking
it.
viewership.
Yeah.
I hate it. But I've got the Texans winning that game, going to the Super Bowl. Texas, because defense wins championships. Seahawks have a nasty defense. Texans have a nasty defense. Who has a better offense, though? It's the Seahawks, and they will win the Super Bowl.
Yikes.
Pen drop. Tendy, how do you follow that one up?
I don't know. I
Pretty
don't know.
easily, I think. I mean,
I have a pretty different bracket looking at this year. So off the top here, Bears, Packers. I like the Bears taking over the Packers here. Eagles, Niners. I'm with Bootsy on this one. I don't like the Eagles. Niners all day on that one. Then, of course, the Rams over the Panthers because, I mean, that's pretty, if that doesn't happen, I don't know what to tell you. If Mikey's podcast if they win the Super Bowl.
It's true.
The Mikey cast.
Mikey would have
Mikey cast.
Mikey would have my dog too, I think, if they win the Super Bowl.
Oh, let's go.
Then obviously we got Pats over the Chargers. I also have Jags over Bills. That's just with my heart there. I don't want the Bills to win.
fair.
I will
I'm
also.
kind of scared of the Bills.
I'm not
As a
scared.
Pats fan.
I'm not scared of the Bills.
Confirmed scared of the
I
Bills.
we had this whole conversation 10 minutes ago. I'm not scared of the Bills. Texans over the Steelers. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. That's easy. I'm also going to take the Texans over the Broncos and then the Patriots over the Jags. And the Patriots will beat the Texans in the AFC Championship, and they will then defeat.
What do you got to do?
Oh, I haven't done this
Yeah, you
side
missed
yet. I'm a little
half
ahead of
the
myself.
NFC.
My bad. Okay, my bad. I'm going to go Rams over the Bears. That's just, I think the Rams are really good. I like the Rams a lot. I'm going to take the Seahawks over the Niners, and then I will have a repeat of 2018 Rams versus Patriots, and it will be the same finale, Patriots over the Rams,
I like that bracket.
and
It's
we
a good
all
bracket.
are happy.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Tendy's bracket of the two.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, thank you, boys.
Well, do you really want Dub to prefer your bracket?
I've
Aw,
won
man.
every segment of this besides the
shit, I
two.
didn't
All right,
think
we gotta go
about
get-
that.
We are now officially 100% late.
Who cares, dude?
We're paying for it. I mean,
You all right, boys? It's been a
Wait.
pleasure.
We have a comment for you. I was sitting watching End of Game with Catherine, and she said, I hope Georgia loses, so Mark is upset.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna have a word with her. That's fucked
And
up.
then I have nothing to say about OSU. That's no longer my team. That's news to me, but
No longer your
Oh,
team.
How does that work?
that's sad.
Bandwagon
is
Central
bad.
now?
Doesn't
All right,
know
well-
ball. That's the new generation.
I will
That's
let you know how the Peach Bowl goes.
yeah. We'll get
Yeah,
the
that
first
sounds
report
electric. Have
this
fun,
week.
Tendy.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
boys.
time.
I'm literally not even in. I'm not even in Georgia for 24 hours. I'm in and out. I'm not even bringing a bag.
That's the best
Smart.
type of trip. Business trip. Show up,
Business trip.
get
business.
smashed, leave.
Do you guys think he should rock the headband with the bald head, the Caruso look?
I'm doing
That would be electric.
I
Yeah.
got
Be kind of sick.
Might as well wear an arm sleeve while you're at it,
They
too.
might show you on TV if you've got
Yeah.
the Indiana one. There's Mikey's dog barking.
No, not me.
Here we go right there.
Get the shades on too.
Oh my bad. I wouldn't want to see me coming at you
Shades?
right now.
Yeah, might intimidate Dante more. Maybe like a little scared back there.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right,
that's
another
all we
blast,
got.
Tendy. Thanks for the
Boys.
segment, boys.
Thank
We'll
you,
check
guys.
in with you guys. in
Always
the
a
week,
pleasure,
basis if
fellas.
you're around. Yep.
Let's go Seahawks. Fuck the Pats.
All
Okay.
right.
Kick them out. Yep. Thank
Get the hell
you.
off my stage.
Yep.
We
Whose
have more
podcast
comments.
is this, by the way? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mine
the
in
comments
5
we need.
weeks.
Drake.
All right.
Drake May. May. All right. Well, lively segment from the viewers. Now we'll do our wild card picks going game by game, and then we'll give our brackets. We can kind of go game by game, do it a little differently. But here we go. First game starting Saturday, 4:30. It is the Rams and the Panthers. Reminder now, we are picking against the spread. We'll do our winners, outright winners for the brackets. Just for the audience, we seem to have a captive audience tonight. So in terms of spread, leading us off as the spread leader, I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers to cover 10.5 points. I think this is a Saturday. First game is always close. I feel like Rams ultimately will win this, but I think it'll be like a 1917, 2017 type vibe. Carolina, I need you guys to show up. Let's get more than 15 people in the stadium, please. It looks to seem impossible when they're trying to find any semblance of Carolina fans and they have to go to a bar with like 10 people on red zone. But I think Panthers cover 10.5. Rams are obviously going to be out for blood due to that Panthers beating them outright, but we saw this game happen already. So the Panthers are capable. Ultimately, I do think the Rams win, but Panthers 10.5 is too many points for me. So I'm going to go with the Panthers plus 10.5, especially with the hook. At 10, I was going to take them. 10.5, we love. Cam, we'll pass to you. What do you got from this game?
I think this is going to be the most embarrassing game that is on this slate or in the playoffs in general. I think you kind of mentioned it. I think LA definitely does not forget the time that they lost. I was boots on the ground at that game. When they lost to Carolina, it was, definitely deflating. That's definitely bulletin board material for McVay and Stafford. I can't see this game being close at all. I can understand your point. Saturday might be a weird little time. First game of the entire slate, but I'm going with the Rams minus 10.5. I think it's an absolute blowout. I think Stafford kind of shows why he is going to be most likely the MVP. I'll comment on that later too. But give me the Rams here minus 10.5. Don't even think I think that's kind of short, to be honest. But
Michael, there's two very good words you could say strategically on why the Panthers will cover if you're going to go that way. That I didn't say. Go ahead.
Super Bowl.
No. It starts with a B.
I am not taking Bryce Young in this game. I am going to be taking Blake Corum in this game. Is that the B you were talking about?
No, I was talking about body clock.
Oh, all right. No, I'm taking the Rams here.
It's 4:30. What are we talking about? Body clock, like.
So you wanted us to pick the Panthers to win the Super Bowl. We're not even going to take them to cover 10.5 points. Okay. I'm glad we overruled on that one.
If they get past the Rams, they've got a shot. Rams already beat them this year, like Cam said, bulletin board material. Or Panthers beat them already, sorry.
Yeah, we got you.
Getting Devontae back. They've done it before, been there, done that. Panthers first time playoffs for probably 99% of the people on that team, and they won't know what hit them.
Agreed.
So I think it's going to be a bad game, like Cam said.
All right. Moving ahead to Saturday night, we have the Chicago Bears, the Cardiac Bears, at home, getting 1.5 points. That's the 2 seed in the NFC. Packers have been locked into that 7 seed. Obviously, a grudge match. Both teams won a game against each other in the regular season. Cam, we start with you. What do you got for this game? Packers at Bears, part 3 of the 2025-2026 season.
Yeah, I'm just going to preface I low-key fucked up between spread versus bracket, but I'm going to stick with what I wrote down. I'm going to go Green Bay minus 1.5. I know you're probably taking them as well, trying to make a swing, but I don't know. I just feel like we kind of talked about it. I could see Green Bay losing this game. At the same time, I can also see them, if they win this game, making a run towards the playoffs towards the Super Bowl. So I think this is a huge game. Obviously, I think it's going to be one of the most entertaining games of the entire wildcard weekend, divisional matchup in Chicago, kind of the tide's turning. But it's also, Caleb's first start in the playoffs. And he's been extremely inconsistent throughout the majority of the year. I feel like he makes 1 or 2 mistakes that leads to a Packers win. And, we typically talk about anything less than 3 is kind of a pick 'em. So 1.5, I think the Packers end up winning this game. Give me the Pack minus 1.5 on the road.
Michael, we go to you. You're yawning. Does this game bore you?
Yeah, it does.
Just my take, actually. That's what it was.
No, I'm taking the Bears here. I have them being at home, one of the few home teams I took. There's a lot of home dogs. Love a home dog. Packers super injured. When was the last time Jordan Love played? Probably 2 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
I don't know. There's just like too much going on with the Packers. I feel like injury wise, and I like the Bears. They lost that game last week or the week before to break their winning game streak, so it's a good thing headed into the playoffs.
They've lost 2 straight.
And yeah, I like the Bears here.
Before we, or Dub, have you given your take yet?
No.
Oh, do your take, and then I got a question for you.
Packers -1.5.
I think we could have predicted that.
Yeah,
it's not even a future pick. It's a heart pick and a head pick. I love the fact that the Bears won the second matchup. If the Bears had lost that, I would actually probably take the Bears in this situation. But give me the Packers, this Bears team. I've been seeing a lot of highlights of this one game last year. Commanders-Lions. Remember who was calling
Redskins.
That dumbass play calls for the Lions was Ben Johnson. I think the lights might get a little too bright for old Benny in Chicago. Either way this game goes, high scoring, low scoring, I see the Packers being able to win this game. I'm not really sure where the health concerns are coming from. Jordan Love's definitely going to play this game, and not for sure. I think Christian Watson's playing. He was on the touchdown scorer, so offense should be good. Obviously, you're minus Micah, but the Packers have been there, done that. This is like their third or fourth year in a row with Love and LaFleur at quarterback and coach. People saying LaFleur is going to be fired potentially. What are we doing? He's not going to get fired.
How many times does he come back to win a game? Never.
Well, so that was my question, though. I mean, obviously we both picked the Packers, but if Packers lose, does LaFleur end up on that hot seat that you kind of just aforementioned?
I say no shot. I think it's ridiculous that people are calling for that.
Okay. I agree with you.
In my opinion, people are speculating.
No, I agree with you, but it's definitely there's some people I think like Mikey's kind of talking about where, hey, like, are you going to be like a Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, and win in the regular season, then lose in the first round every single year? And I don't know. Like I agree with you. I like LaFleur, and I feel like he's building something there, especially with Jordan Love. But I was just throwing that out there.
Well, last year they lost in the first round to the Eagles, and it was like kind of an ugly, like back and forth game. But 2 years ago, they beat the Cowboys as the 7th seed, slaughtered them in like the first year of Jordan Love, and they were right on the doorstep of beating the 49ers. That game was crazy. It came down to the last second. 49ers make the Super Bowl and lose the Super Bowl ultimately.
So they've lost the past 2 years to the Super Bowl, or the NFC champion, I should say.
Yeah. So I think this is overblown. This is only year either 3 or 4. I think it's 3 of Jordan Love as a quarterback. I think more questions to get asked of Jordan Love if he doesn't have a good performance than of Matt LaFleur. That's my thing on this game. But I don't think any of that happens. I think the Packers win this. Big brother also of the Bears. Yep. I think mentally there's a thing there, and also I think the Bears are just too high for their bridges right now. So I'm going with the Packers -1.5. So that was your question, was the LaFleur thing?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. We'll go to Sunday, 1 p.m. Bills at Jags. Jags, another home favorite, +1.5.
Home dog.
A lot of people, home dog, sorry. A lot of people high on the Bills team and high on the Jags team. So there's a lot of hype on this Jags team, which I was going to talk about with my pick. But Michael, we start with you this time. Bills at Jags, +1.5. Who are you picking here?
Yeah, I know both Mark and Tendy took the Jags. Being from Florida and all, I don't like it. I think I'm going to take the Bills here. Having been there, they've got the running game. They've got a semblance of a defense. And the Jags are coming in hot. Trevor Lawrence had that big comeback 2 or 3 years ago in the playoffs. Hasn't been there since. And Josh Allen's been there, done that. So is McDermott, Liam Cohen, first time head coach in the playoffs. We'll see. Taking the Bills.
I'm with you, Buffalo. Probably my favorite team coming out of the AFC, just based off an experience level, quarterback level. The only thing is the coach. I think this is a one to watch for the coach.
I was just going to ask you that too. But yeah,
I would say McDermott might be in like the top 2 of the coaches that could potentially be fired. We'll wait to the last AFC game for that. But I think Bills win this one. I'm not taking Trevor Lawrence to beat Josh Allen at this point. I know he's better and everything, but Josh didn't play last week. I thought, he did look kind of hobbled 2 weeks ago, so that is a little bit concerning on their end. But I think they just have a better team outright. I don't think the Jags are quite ready for this game. And I've been told that the Jags have this high-flying offense and they're this crazy team. But when I see this matchup on paper, I'm like, I'm not picking the Jaguars. It's just not something I'm going to do. So
that's why you play the football game.
That is why you play. And if the Jags win, like, I'll come on here and say props to them. I just was never going to pick them. So I'm going with the Bills -1.5. It's basically a pick 'em. So I'll take them to win by 1.5 or more. I'm going with the Bills. Cam, potential for the first group ride of the night.
I agree with everything you guys said. But this is a classic bet with my heart over my head. Like you said, Josh Allen's best quarterback in the entire playoffs. AFC versus NFC. The last team I would probably want to see, I know it wouldn't be until the conference championship, or it wouldn't be until the conference championship, definitely. But much rather see, any other team other than the Bills, especially playing a team for the third time. I got Jacksonville here. I also, was kind of thinking you were going to take the Bills, W, and, I need games to get back into the spread. Jacksonville, like you said, I feel like their offensive performance has been significantly overrated due to the competition that they've been playing for the past few weeks. However, they kind of similar to the Pats. When they play weaker competition, they take care of business. And also, Jacoby's fit into that offense beautifully. I've always liked Jacoby when he was a Pat. I feel like the Raiders didn't use him correctly, or maybe not enough. And he ended up in a spot, and he's kind of the safety blanket of that offense. So I may be alluding to a potential future pick in the Focus 5, but I kind of going against the grain here. With my heart, I want Jacksonville. Head tells me Buffalo, but, Patriots overrule, especially in the heart. So I'm going Jags +1.5 home dog here.
All right. Well, we'll continue on to Sunday, 4 p.m. These two teams have met each other a couple of times in the playoffs. Obviously, the game where Brock Purdy got hurt and they had to, he still played with the broken shoulder. 5.5. This one's been moving. This is the one that moved today from 4.5 to 5.5. I think it might have been 3.5 to open the week. I didn't want to reveal it when they were on, but I liked what they were saying about the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers +5.5. At least at the spread, I really like the 49ers, and we'll see if I pick them to win the game. But the Eagles have not been a team that has blown teams out all year. I mean, they kind of had to get right spot against the Raiders, but they always play games close. I can see this one coming down to a field goal either way. I think the 49ers, a lot of those guys who were on that team that lost the Eagles, I know it was kind of
still on the team.
Yeah, Debo being we would have won if we had Purdy, whatever, but the guys who aren't maybe as vocal, like Kittle and Purdy and McCaffrey, they probably feel the same way, and this is a get-back spot for them. I think the Eagles have been just kind of chaotic all year. They have kind of locked in somewhat, like I mentioned before, so this is a tough pick. I think this will be one of the best games of the weekend. Obviously, we'll probably have Brady on the commentary, but I'm going to go with the 49ers to cover 5.5. I just think that's too many points. I think maybe a 2.5, 3.5 spread would be more proper for this game. So I'm going with 49ers +5.5. Can we go to you?
I couldn't agree more. Everything you said perfectly aligns with my thought process. Obviously, a rematch from last year, or what was it last year? Or I think it was 2 years ago, right? What that game we're talking about? Yeah.
I think it was 3 years ago, actually.
3, yeah. I mean, obviously that was a close game before. Even with, McCaffrey was fucking throwing the ball at one point. But I feel I kind of mentioned it when we were doing our draft, but I do like this Eagles team potentially make a run. But at the same time, it's kind of like that Chiefs team from last year. And also, I think the Eagles this entire year, I like them winning games, but at the same time, Dub just said they don't blow teams out. I think 5.5 is a lot and arguably going to be the toughest matchup, maybe Green Bay and Chicago. But I think it's going to be a gritty football game. I like San Fran +5.5 here. Whether I think they win or not, we'll see in a little bit or when it comes to the bracket. But I'm going with the 49ers here plus the points.
All right, Michael, ball's in your court. What do you think for this one?
Did you both took Niners?
We both took 49ers +5.5.
Yep, we're group riding.
All right, first group ride.
Team Brock.
I don't know. Kind of just too many points. Too many points in my head for this game. Yeah, I mean, you both said it all.
All right. Well, Sunday night, big one for two guys in this podcast. Our team, the Patriots, at home, welcome in the Los Angeles Chargers, 3.5-point favorites. Little hook action there. Cam, we know your pick, but give us the reason why.
Pat's offense has been progressively getting better, I think, week to week. And we obviously talk about the strength of the schedule when it comes to the Patriots, but when it comes to the teams that they're playing against, especially, in the last 3 quarters of the year, they're blowing teams that they should blow out. And Ramondre is starting to come into his own, and I feel like Bravion's also done the same. I feel like it's going to be a great running back tandem. And obviously Drake's putting up a potential MVP type season. And the fact that it's back in Foxborough, we kind of talked about how last week, even it was a, quote unquote, not meaningless, but you kind of knew what was going to happen. The crowd was still packed. Like, everybody was still behind the Patriots. I feel like it's going to be rocking in Foxborough for Sunday night. Don't love the fact that I have to stay up till 11:30, midnight, 12:30 to watch this game, especially when I have work the next day. Probably going to get a noise complaint. Don't know how I'm going to react, win or loss, after this game, but love New England here, -3.5. Definitely trust Drake, I feel like, more than Herbert. You've seen what Herbert has been in the playoffs, and he's also, got the broken hand. I know he sat last week, but I don't know. That chart in the O-line for the Chargers, losing both your tackles is extremely difficult. I feel like that's going to be the key to the game. It's a lot of analysts talk about, strength on strength, like what's the best team's strength versus the other team's best strength. I think it's going to be the 2 weaknesses, and it's going to be the Chargers O-line and the Pats defensive pass rush. But you got Milton back. Hopefully Robert Spillane can, suit up for this game. But I really like New England here. It's going to be, I don't love the hook. I think it might be a little bit closer than, I feel like I've heard a lot of takes where it's supposed to be a blowout for the Patriots, but I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. Drake's obviously first playoff start, so it's going to be interesting to see, but super excited for it. But overall, give me the Pats -3.5. You already knew my pick going into it, so.
Michael?
I'm taking the Chargers.
Fuck off.
That's actually pretty good for us, probably.
For the love of the game, I'm taking the Chargers. Yeah.
That's it? Just for the love of the game?
Yeah, it's the same thing with the 49ers. I feel like this is a close game. I don't know if they'll win the game, but 3.5, get a little field goal there. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't love the hook either, but every time I pick the Pats, they win at least. So I'm going with them. -3.5. The hook is there, but I think this could be a potential 7 to 10 point win for the Patriots. We don't really know what the Chargers are up to right now because they didn't play their guys last week, so we don't know who's going to be healthy. But they have a lot of offensive line problems while the Pats are getting more healthy on the defensive line. Milton Williams came back last week, was a force, so I expect him to be a big part of this game. Chargers have a lot of young guys they're relying on offense. Quentin Johnston, the running backs, your guy Vidal. Actually, Vidal got hurt. I don't know if he's still around, but Herbert's
he's in the touchdown.
The focus 5.
Story, so.
Okay. The Chargers offensive line has been beat up. We've been kind of going on that all season. I think you just need to do enough on offense to put them out of it. And also last season, Patriots had that horrible game against the Chargers.
I was at that game. I was boots on the ground in that game.
Yeah, so another revenge spot potentially. I think this is going to be a spot for the Pats to really prove themselves because people have been saying the schedule, and if they're able to handle this Chargers team, which I think they're going to, then they'll be looking like a real strong competitor in the AFC. So hopefully they get done. It's a hard pick and a head pick. I'm going with the Pats -3.5 on that one. And then we have one more game on Monday night. It is the Texans and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Obviously, Pittsburgh coming off that absurd win over the Ravens to secure their spot. Michael, we start with you. Steelers +3 at home. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans here. Steelers being at home is a little bit, I feel like
the terrible towels.
Yeah, they're a good home team. I just don't trust Aaron Rodgers to be able to move. I know he gets rid of the ball in like 0.4 seconds every time, but this Texans defense is stout, and Texans Colin will be happy after this one, I think. Taking the Texans.
I'm with you, Texans. Don't trust the Steelers. I think I would take the Texans against either of those teams. The Steelers' offense I think they'll get DK back, which, congrats. But Aaron Rodgers is throwing little 5-yard out routes to kind of gain well, every play. I just don't think that's going to work against the Texans. And I think the Texans beat them. But honestly, 3 points for the Texans is kind of a lot. So I'm a little worried on that end. But I definitely think the Texans win this game. And in order for that to happen, they'll probably win by at least 3 or more. So that's just the easier pick for me. This is probably – I always hate the Monday night games. I feel like they put the hardest game to pick on Monday night. So We'll go with the Texans -3. I think for Pats, we probably want the Steelers to win, but it doesn't really matter. Texans -3 is my pick. Cam, wrap us up. What do you got?
Kind of wrapped it up in that last sentence of yours. It's very similar to the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars game. Everything in my head's telling me Houston, but heart's telling me Pittsburgh. I'd much rather see Pittsburgh advance, especially after that loss. I think it was either week 3 or week 4 when we had 5 turnovers, 2 of them being in the end zone. But it's also, I think about it a little bit more, like Pittsburgh won against, divisional opponent on Sunday night, tough matchup, basically destined to lose without their best receiver. I mean, their second receiver's who, Calvin Austin. I mean, I thought that was a pretty decent win out of the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though I don't think very highly of the Ravens or the Steelers. But I don't know, Texans going on the road I think it's an interesting matchup going from, that dome, not West Coast team, but, middle of the country playing a dome as opposed to going to the Northeast where you're playing on the road at night. I don't know. I feel like Pittsburgh's got the grit in them, and I think the defense stepped up late in that Baltimore game, and I feel like they might be turning the corner. So give me Pittsburgh here, home dog +3. Maybe I think they win this game out, or I hope they win this game out, or I should say. But maybe Aaron Rodgers has another divisional win in him just to lose the next round. But I like Pitt +3 here.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on our spreads. So good luck to the lads on the spreads. Only 6 games this week, obviously, with the playoffs. We head to the brackets. So do we want to just rip these off? We'll go game by game, each say our pick, and then
can we recap last year's bracket standings?
Let's see if I have it actually, but you won, I think.
I don't think I was on it.
And I think Dub lost.
No, you made a bracket, Cam.
I did.
Yeah, you just didn't come any weeks after that. Let's see if I can have.
Hand up, that's on me. That will not happen again. But I got my priorities in line now. Dubcast, right. Work, everything else.
Let's see if I can find this. Where would it be?
That's okay.
Oh, here we go. No, I got it. I might even have it. Yeah, it's not even on this sheet, but you won the bracket last year, that's for sure. I think Mark got second, Tendy got third, and then me and Texans Colin were at the bottom. Cam, I think you're like 4th. So no Texans Colin this year unless he wants to call in the last couple of minutes, but Michael is defending bracket champion. So first game, we'll just go in order. Rams, Panthers. You guys both took the Rams to cover 10.5. I'm guessing you're doing the same in your bracket.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm taking the Rams to win as well. And then we have, I'm just kind of going off the top of my head, Bears, Packers. I'm going with the Pack to win.
So I fucked this up. And I also didn't want to, redo the simulation because I didn't know how the seating would work. But I got Chicago in this one. Kind of going off of, I can also see the Packers losing this game, but also I can see them making a Super Bowl run. I feel like this first week is going to be crucial for them when it comes to the long term. But in the sake of the bracket, I got Chicago here.
Michael?
Same.
Bears?
I don't trust the Packers at all.
All right, and we'll rip it out with the most interesting NFC matchup. I'm just kind of jumping around. Sorry. 49ers, Eagles. I think the 49ers pull it off. I'm going 49ers, which makes me taking all the lower seeds in the NFC, but I'm going 49ers over the Eagles. Cam?
I'm going Philly, going the opposite of you, going with all the higher seeds. Taking the home teams here. I kind of mentioned Philly, I think, was my either second or third pick or whatever it was in the draft order. But I like Philly. I feel like, there's been a lot of noise, and I feel like they can overcome it defending champs. I feel like they figured it out in the playoffs. So give me Philly here.
Michael?
Yep. I'm with Cam. We have the same bracket so far.
Same bracket. We'll see if it stays the same for the AFC. Starting off, it's reversed on the screen, so you want to go the other way.
Well, on my side, it looks like no.
Yeah, it's bad.
Swinging and miss.
All right, well, let's start with the Pats, the Chargers. I'm going Pats. Cam, I'm guessing you're doing the same.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Michael, you're taking the Pats to win.
I am.
Jags, Bills. I got the Bills.
Jags.
Okay, I'm the only one taking a couple teams here, a couple of lower seeds. And then the last one is that Texans, Steelers. I think Texans win.
Texans.
I'm going Pittsburgh, and I just realized I picked every team except the Panthers to win their home game.
All right. Well, maybe the home teams win it. All right. So second round, we get a little interesting. We'll stay in the AFC. We'll just go person by person from my view. So I'll go, then Cam, then you, Mikey. So I have a matchup between the number 1 seed Broncos and the number 5 seed Bills. Give me the number 5 seed Bills or number 6 seed Bills, to go into Denver and beat them. I think Denver's frauds. I think no matter who Denver plays, I think they lose first round that they play in. So we're going with the Bills to win that game. And then I've got the Patriots versus the Texans. Patriots have traditionally owned the Texans. I think that continues, and maybe a low-scoring game. I think Drake is just way better than C.J. Stroud right now offensively, and they have more weapons, more firepower. I think they ultimately find enough to get that done against the Texans defense. So setting up a Pats versus Bills AFC Championship Part 3 game. Cam, what do you have in your AFC side?
So on the AFC side, obviously I had Pittsburgh winning, so they'd be playing Denver. I think Denver at home ends up pulling that out against Pittsburgh. Just feel like it's too much for Aaron Rodgers at whatever age he is, close, approaching 40, if not over it. I feel like Denver pulls that one out. Heading to the AFC Championship game, you already kind of know where I'm going with this. You got Jacksonville and New England, kind of a rematch from, 2018 when they made that Super Bowl run and they played in the AFC Championship game. I see a very similar game. I feel like it would be close, but at the same time, I don't think that Jacksonville defense is as good as they were whenever they played a few years ago. Give me New England here, so you got a Denver and New England AFC Championship game.
Michael?
Sorry, I'm just looking up Blake Bortles.
He's running.
Throwback. Yeah. The fact that was a close game is fucking so sad.
I know. So I have Broncos Texans, and I got the Broncos coming out of that, and then Jags Pats, got the Pats coming out of that as well. So
boring. 1 versus 2, both of you guys.
Well, hey,
right.
wait till NFC. Wait till NFC.
Starting with the NFC, I've got the Seahawks versus the Packers. Give me Green Bay to beat Seattle. I think they pull it off. I don't trust either 1 seed in both conferences. I think the Packers beat the Seahawks, and then setting up a divisional matchup between the Rams and the 49ers. I think the Rams get the job done at home. I just think they're a better team this year, more healthy, more locked in. I trust Stafford more than I trust Purdy. Rams have been there, done that. Both teams have been there, done that. But I think the Rams have a slight experience edge and a slight edge on offense and defense. So setting up a Rams versus Packers NFC Championship game for me. Cam, we go to you.
So NFC, I got Chicago playing Philly. And like I said, I fucked that up probably because I didn't rearrange the bracket or whatever. But anyways, I'm sticking with my gut going Chicago versus Philly. I think Philly is definitely going to be the team that comes out on top between those two. If Caleb is able to survive that week or the wild card weekend, I feel like Philly's just too much for him, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think Philly ends up winning that game and goes to the NFC Championship game. And in the second matchup, Seattle playing the Rams, I feel like the Rams are just, a team that's definitely high scoring, and you got Devontae coming back after a few weeks of rest after coming off that injury. I feel like the Rams are destined to make a little bit of a playoff run, and most likely what I would think Stafford's last year, maybe last couple years. But so that leads to an NFC Championship game of Philly and the Rams for me.
All right, Michael, take us home.
So I had Bears Eagles as well, but I have the Bears coming out of that game.
Wow.
Bears to the NFC ship.
Yep. Find a way.
When there's a
and then I got Seahawks Rams, and I have same as Cam, Rams coming out of that game.
So 1-2 is your top 4.
No?
Yep.
Mikey's.
Well, not me. Okay.
Yeah, Mikey.
Well,
yeah, but it's the Bears.
Didn't you say the Rams came out? The Rams are the 5.
Yeah, the Rams are also.
Oh, I thought you said Seahawks. My bad.
No.
My bad.
Yeah,
all right,
come on, fuck off.
We'll stick with the NFC. So I've got Rams versus Packers, 5 versus 7 NFC Championship. I'm going with the Rams. More experienced. I just don't think the Packers are going to be able to get. I think they go on a little run, but I think to say they get past the conference championship game is a little bit out of pocket. So I'm going to go with the Rams to win. Just feel like this has been a year for the Rams. So send them to the Super Bowl. Who you got coming to the Super Bowl on the NFC side? Okay.
I think it's a classic rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, but I think it's the flip side. I think the Rams end up pulling this game out. I know it's going to be in Philadelphia where they end up losing, but I feel like it's, team of destiny for the Rams coming out of the NFC. I think the Rams pull it on top, go to the Super Bowl. Give me Stafford and the Rams over Hurts and the Eagles in the NFC shit.
Michael, are you feeling similarly about the Rams?
Unfortunately, yeah, I am. But I guess it's pretty good because we drafted the Rams #1 overall.
We did.
So
we're on the same page about that at least.
Yep.
All right. AFC, I've got the Bills versus the Patriots. I think Patriots learn from their mistakes and win over the Bills. I think this game's going to be in Foxborough. It's going to be really bad if they lose this game again in Foxborough to the Bills. So I don't want to envision that. I'm going with my heart.
That would be one of the most electric playoff games we've probably ever seen.
That's what I'm thinking narratives in my head of.
Yeah, that would be an awesome story. Like that would be a great game to watch, no matter if you're a Patriots or Bills fan. The crowd's going to be electric, but that would be an awesome
Ultimately,
game.
The Bills haven't been able to get to the Super Bowl. I think they'll do something to show against the Patriots. I'm going Patriots, Rams, rematch. I have the same Super Bowl as Tendy. I'll get to my pick next. But Cam, who do you have in the Super Bowl for you?
Yeah, so I got Denver versus New England. New England going to Denver. Everybody's, been talking about how it might be more difficult to go up to Denver and play on the road in the AFC Championship game. But if we're talking quarterback, I'm taking Drake May over Bo Nix. Maybe Sean Payton might be a more sustained, successful head coach over Mike Vrabel, but Vrabel's got these boys going. I feel like that Denver defense has also been, I feel like, not overrated, but very hit or miss, inconsistent. Whatever word you want to use there. But I like New England here, coming out of the AFC, going to the Super Bowl against the Rams in my bracket.
Michael, from an unbiased perspective, what do you got coming out of the AFC?
I do not think the Patriots will beat the Broncos in Denver, so I'm taking the Broncos to make it to the Super Bowl against.
That's good. That's good for us, Dubby. That's good for us.
All right, so Cam, you and I both have Patriots, Rams, and Michael's got Broncos, Rams. We'll start with you, Michael. Who's your Super Bowl champion between the Broncos and the Rams? Who's going to be crowned?
Sean McVay rides off into the sunset.
Wow.
Super Bowl champion.
He just
retires. Done.
Okay.
That's it. He was going to retire and do TV a couple years ago. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Him and Stafford both walked.
Just like Aaron Donald.
All right. Cam, I think I know your pick, but go ahead and give it to us. Patriots versus Rams.
I kind of alluded to this earlier in the segment. I feel like Stafford's not a lock, but, it feels like everything's leaning towards him being the MVP against Drake May. And it's the battle of the MVPs. And you know what? A lot of the MVPs that win the award don't end up winning the Super Bowl. So I think Stafford was the MVP, and the Pats end up winning another matchup like Tendy said in 2018. Pats get their first Super Bowl in, 6 years, 5 years, or whatever it is. And it might be, I committed myself to when I had the funds. If I have the opportunity to go to the first Super Bowl that I would pay for myself, I would go. So the Patriots make the Super Bowl. I am going to San Francisco. Whether it be in the game, I might just watch it at a bar in San Francisco because the tickets are going to be absurd. But I would probably fly to San Francisco to watch this game just in the atmosphere, be a part of the game, take a couple of days off work. But hoping for, arguably the best season I've had as a young adult, as the New England Patriots fan that I am. So give me the Pats here. Give me Drake May. Give me Vrabel. I'm all about it. And why not us? Going back to the Sox in 2004. Why not us?
Well, I have the same Super Bowl, but
I'm
going with the Rams to win the Super Bowl. I don't know. It feels all too fast for the Patriots to win. So on a head level,
bet with your head. I need you to bet with your heart, brother. Heart.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think this has been the Rams' year. They kind of had a couple fall-off games, but I think this year was destined to start for the Rams, especially when you have like the comeback aspect of that, revenging that 2018 matchup. The Patriots have many years to get back into the Super Bowl. The way I see it for playing, I think the Rams win the Super Bowl. The whole MVP thing, I don't know if that's going to add anything to it. I know MVPs don't really win the Super Bowl, but I just think the Rams
Mahomes, like 2 years ago.
I think the between experience, offense, and defense, I think the Rams are the best team overall. So I'm picking the best team overall. I'm going to go with the Rams win the Super Bowl over the Patriots. So the Patriots still make it pretty far. Still a successful season. Obviously more to come with Drake May, but that's it for the brackets. So we'll check in weekly. At least to give the standings when we're all here. I don't know if the DOUF boys want to rejoin us. I think they said they would, but we can compare our bracket against theirs as well. Now, the Focus 5. So we did do a Focus 5 last week. I was the winner by losing the least amount of units, that being minus 1.41. Michael, you lost 2.31 units. Cam, you lost all 5 units placed, leaving us with Michael at almost minus 13 units, Cam at minus 7.09 units, and I'm the only one in the positive, plus 15.32 units. Michael, with the lowest amount, you'll lead us off with your Focus 5. So what do you got for us for this Wildcard weekend, Focus 5?
Well, let me just say, before Patrick Mahomes 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, 2022, the last player to win MVP and Super Bowl same year, it's Kurt Warner in 1999.
Oh, Kurt Warner, yeah. So 2 in the last, 27, 26 years?
Yeah. But okay, yeah.
Just saying, thank you for supporting my take, Mikey. I appreciate it.
Shall we continue on with our Focus 5?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This first one is from my mother. Eagles money line, Pats minus 3.5, Steelers plus 3. Brings us to plus 416.
Okay.
Not that bad, honestly. What's up?
I like that.
Then we're taking a little Rams touchdown scorer parlay of Kyron and Devontae plus 249. Then we're going to take James Cook 2+ straight up, which is plus 390. And then in the Eagles 49ers game, we're going to take Jalen Hurts under his passing yards total, which is 208. And Brock Purdy over his passing yards, which is 228. And then I found this little guy when I was scrolling through the thing over here, and we're taking the Panthers to be the lowest scoring team of the weekend at plus 360.
Yet we want to keep them as one of our picks in the draft.
Hey.
You
know. But yeah, there we go.
All right. So all those has odds, correct?
I just read them to you.
Okay. Just making sure. I did. First of all, I was double checking the James. I might take that James Cook.
Yeah. Why is it plus 390? Is he not supposed to play?
Because Josh Allen. I don't know.
I mean, I'm definitely going to follow that if it's at plus 390. But
I see plus 360, but plus 390 is probably going to fluctuate.
For an anytime touchdown?
2+.
Oh, 2+. Okay. That makes more sense. But, okay. I don't mind that.
I still don't mind that bet. All right, Cam. Give us your Focus 5 for this week.
All right. Number 1, we're going to start on Saturday afternoon. Been anti-Panthers, since the start of the podcast. So give me the Rams. Yeah. Give me the Rams money line. Not going to give you a lot of value, but we're going to parlay that with Stafford 2+ passing. And 1, Mikey kind of alluded to, with Devontae Adams to score. That's at plus 121. But I feel like if Stafford's throwing 2 touchdowns, 1's going to be to Devontae coming off the injury. Second parlay is going to be the Chicago game. Kind of following off my bracket. If Chicago's going to win, I feel like Caleb's going to want to, do his little magic boy shit and with his painted black nails and might run for a touchdown. So prove me wrong, Caleb. Yeah. So give me Chicago money line, Caleb anytime touchdown scorer plus 564. Third parlay is going to be, again, betting with my heart, not my head, going with the Jags money line, obviously at plus money. And then with a Myers anytime touchdown. I know Dub had that last week, but we always love, people that don't score the previous week. We like them to score the next week. So give me the Jags and Myers anytime tutty plus 393. Fourth is going to be New England and Drake 2+ passing. I know I've been, kind of hammering that for the majority of the weeks for the Pats. That's at plus 135, but that's going to be one of my bigger bets of the weekend. And then my fifth and final is going to be a combination a little bit of 2 of the ones I've already said. I'm going with the Rams and Stafford 2+, and then New England and Drake 2+ at plus 247. Those the last two are going to be, two of my bigger bets. But I have faith in both these teams to, potentially show out why they're the MVP and why they potentially are going to be, the conference championships or champions within their respective conferences.
All right. So all odds on those ones?
Yep.
All right. Just for my record keeping.
Yep.
All right. My focus 5. I've got some similar picks to you guys. So not this one, but we're starting off with the Saturday Scenes parlay. Had to keep one teaser in there. We've been doing really well on the teasers. How about we tease the Carolina Panthers up to plus 17.5? They're definitely going to cover that, right?
Yeah, right.
At home, 17.5 should be pretty free. We'll pair that with the Packers money line. Those two together are my lowest odds, plus 154 as parlay. And I'm going to go with the usual suspects touchdown parlay, both Saturday games, so one from each. Love that you guys both took Devontae. I'm taking Devontae as well. It just feels free coming off the injury. And I'm also going to go with Josh Jacobs to score in the night game. Seems like he's automatic.
Yeah, I love that.
Plus 203. Next one, the Sunday Scaries. So we're picking a money line for each of these games. Give me the Bills, the 49ers, and the Pats all to win. Those three together, plus 818. So probably we'll take the Bills individually and take the 49ers individually. I don't love betting on the Pats just because it's like the double kill if they lose. But
yeah,
we'll take those two together for plus 818. And then with the touchdown parlays, I'm going run it back. So James Cook, Josh Allen, and Jacoby Myers, all three of those guys together, plus 800. So Jacoby Myers obviously didn't get it last week. This week, I think.
Who was the second guy?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Okay.
Josh Allen, James Cook, and Jacoby, all three of those guys, plus 800. Now, last year I did this parlay with 3 or 4 guys in the highest scoring. I think it was the second round. Actually, I did it with the Commanders-Lions game. I'm kind of going off that similar energy. I think this Bills-Jags game, there's going to be 100 points. So give me those 3 guys. Should be easy, at least on the running end for Buffalo, and then hopefully Jacoby catches one. Last one, just for the Monday night game. I'm going with the Cam strategy here. We're going with Texans money line and then Nico touchdown. Those two together, plus 248. So that wraps up my Focus 5 for this week. And, of course, everyone's favorite segment. We got the NCAA College Football Playoff semifinals. Michael, I didn't ask if you wanted to give a pick. I know you're not probably going to be watching tonight, but we'll pan to you tomorrow before we give our picks for tomorrow. So tonight we have, in just 10 minutes, Ole Miss and Miami. Miami was 3.5.
In 10 minutes?
It's at 7:30, yep.
All right, you give your pick.
He's got a bet. I'm going with Ole Miss. I did love Ole Miss.
I thought it was an 8 o'clock fucking kickoff.
I think it's at 7:30. Yeah, 7:45 it says on DraftKings.
Oh, okay. 7:45. All right, that's fine.
It's probably 7:30 start time, which means 7:45 because they don't kick off for like 15 minutes. Anyways, I'm going Trinidad and Ole Miss. I love them at plus 3.5. I wish I still will have them on Fliff at plus 3.5. But I'll still take Ole Miss at plus 3 for the picks. I don't know why Miami's favored in this game. They don't really have an offense. I think this is a classic offense versus defense matchup, and maybe this could be the game where Ole Miss gets caught with the coaching stuff. But I think this is playing for the national runner-up. Not to spoil next week's picks, but give me Ole Miss to cover plus 3. I just think them with points. I'm gonna take them.
Completely agree. I'm actually going to do Ole Miss money line. Don't really care about the points. I like them there. Chuck Weiss Jr. Give me that every single day of the week. It's also, encouraging that you see that starting quarterback, Chambliss, who, was rumored if he was to get that extra year of eligibility, rumored to go with Lane Kiffin to LSU, but he's like, no, I'm staying with Ole Miss. I feel like that just brings a lot of juice to the team. And I feel like Ole Miss, if we're talking quarterback play, I've been anti-Carson. I mean, it's kind of bit me in the ass a little bit, but definitely give me Chambliss over Carson Beck. I like Ole Miss and the slate tonight.
All right. Well, tomorrow, Michael, this is all eyes on this one. Dante Moore versus Fernando Mendoza.
Future quarterback of the New York Jets, potentially.
Any thoughts you wanted to say on this one? Ty Simpson also declaring this week for the draft.
Yeah. Also the Ole Miss guy. You just say he is going back to school?
He's
he's pretty old. I don't think he.
Yeah, I don't think he's even rumored. Even if he doesn't get it, I don't think he's going to be drafted in the NFL draft.
Well, the Jets need all of the quarterbacks to come out. So
okay.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to say. I just want to hear the opinions of the teams and the quarterbacks.
Me and Dub are usually in line, I feel like, with our college football picks. So
Yeah.
I know where
I
Dub's
think you're
going, and I
both
feel like
taking
I'm going
Indiana.
the same way. Yeah,
start off-
with the Oregon jersey on.
Yeah.
Start us off, Cam. Who do you got? Oregon plus 3.5 against the number 1 team in the country, undefeated Indiana.
We kind of talked about this in the beginning of the show, offline before we went live, before Mikey joined. I feel like Indiana is kind of due for a wake up call. Second time that they're playing each other. I feel like Oregon is definitely keeping in mind that first matchup they had, and then also that last year's performance in the college football playoff where they ended up getting absolutely exposed in the Rose Bowl. I think it's a different year, different quarterback. I feel like Dante Moore is extremely talented at a young age. And I think Mikey would be extremely lucky if the Jets were able to draft him at number 2 if he declares. I like Oregon here. You said they're plus 3.5?
Plus 3.5 Oregon, yep.
Yeah, I like Oregon money line, honestly. But, I mean, if we're doing just spreads, give me Oregon plus 3.5. Do we know the location of these games? I'm trying to remember. So I know the second one is in Georgia, but the game tonight.
Yeah, Tendy was saying last night is
in Glendale, Arizona, at State Farm Stadium.
Okay. Yeah, so not really an advantage for either team, but.
Yep. Well, I'm with you, obviously. Go Ducks. They're my number 1 rooting interest. Well, actually, I should be rooting for Miami for the ACC pride, but if it's Miami versus Oregon, we'll get to that when we get to that. I just don't see that championship happening. Either way, I think whatever happens. But Ducks, Dante Moore, I think the same way it's hard to beat a team 3 times NFL, which has kind of been disproven, whatever, it's hard to beat a team 2 times in the college football season. So
it's even harder, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going with Oregon to get their revenge. Dan Lanning's an insane man. So is Kurt Signetti. I think this will be tomorrow is really what we've got the eyes peeled on. Tonight should be good, but like tomorrow is like this could be real top tier cinema because I think whoever wins that game tomorrow wins the championship. I just think everything's gone too well for Indiana. Let's not forget last year that the championship was like number 8 seed Ohio State versus number 5 seed Notre Dame, and Indiana avoided the curse of being the bye week team to lose. I think they were the only bye team that won. So maybe that catches up with them. I just think Oregon, they have speed, they have talent too, and Indiana kind of plays that slow game where if Oregon's able to score a couple touchdowns, I think this could be a real close one. Definitely love Oregon at plus 3.5, and then maybe sprinkle money line as well. So that sets up Oregon Ole Miss championship, which I think would be a weird one, and we'll talk about that if it does happen. But super exciting, all new teams really that haven't been here in a while, so this will be a new-ish champion. So exciting season of college football coming to a close. Obviously, this will be the second to last week we covered that, and that's it on this one. Great stream.
The number 1 pick is locked up.
Yeah, I think Mendoza goes number
Most
1.
likely, yeah.
What if Oregon smacks them?
I was just gonna say maybe if Dante Moore wins, do you think it flips or?
Well, let's see who the Raiders coach is, because I feel like if it's someone who's like traditional, then it's probably just gonna be like Mendoza no matter what.
What if Tom Brady is the head coach?
Nah.
Well, the early rumors were he wants to get a New England thing going with Brian Flores and then
Dable as the OC.
Yeah, so we'll see if that. I feel like Flores would go with the easy pick, but if it's someone who's like willing to take chances, then maybe Dante Moore's in play there.
I don't know. I've been
flip Kingsbury to the Raiders and then they draft a similar quarterback to Jaden, get Dante Moore, but
there's a fairy tale for Michael.
Nah, I've heard Dable is more of the Dante Moore quarterback guy.
Interesting.
Josh Allen and
who are you hearing that from?
From
Reddit?
my guys on the street.
Oh, my guys.
The guys of your local Reddit channel?
Nah, I don't do Reddit.
Right.
He's got the book.
Book's over here.
All right. Well, I think that was a very good stream considering we covered a lot of ground and probably will be one of our shorter ones. So good job, gents. We'll
good luck to you.
Next week. Yeah, good luck betting. And
gotta enjoy it.
We've got a lot of things happening this weekend, a lot of football, the brackets, the playoff draft, our spread picks. So a lot on the line heading into next week. Obviously, we'll have
is this the best 5 days of football?
Yes.
Cam was saying earlier,
a decision on that?
You got 2 college football games, and then you got Saturday, Sunday, Monday fucking playoff football in the NFL.
Yeah, you might be right, because when they do the Monday night college football, first of all, that's not even football on for 5 days. So the championship kind of loses its luster because I think it's in like 2 weeks, whatever. I'll agree for now, and then if there's anything else, I'll come back and give it.
Bring your rebuttal next week.
All right, well, that's it on this one. expect us back at some point, probably either Wednesday or Thursday. We'll talk more as the week goes on, and stay tuned to Instagram for that one. Other Dubcast news for people sticking out there. We're back. A lot of content coming out, movie reviews and stuff. So maybe some short form media as well. Maybe we'll post some pics. So stay tuned on TikTok, Instagram, maybe YouTube Shorts. And thanks to the replay viewers as well. We'll see you guys next week for the divisional round and wildcard round recap. So thanks for sticking.